Hi guys, so the International Trade Secretary Liz Truss done a pretty poor job at defending Boris Johnson against allegations of corruption. This is in regards to the refurbishment of his number 10 flat. Now, she was asked who paid for it, who gave this money, and she dodges the question. Of course, towards the end of the interview, she starts talking about international trade and the vaccine rollout in order to distract the public. Now, what's important here is someone donated a certain amount of money. Boris Johnson spent £58,000, it seems, on this flat. So we don't know if it was £58,000 in total or part of that. But someone donated money to Boris Johnson, or lent it at least, and then later he returned the money. But why did this person give money to Boris Johnson? Because, as I've said in the past, it always comes down to two reasons. Businessmen, businesswomen, businesses themselves, rich individuals will give money to politicians either to influence policy or to get some quick favor done. We've seen it with a certain vacuum cleaner company, the owner of a vacuum cleaner company who had direct access to Boris Johnson and was able to put pressure on him in order to put pressure, of course, on the Chancellor of the Exchequer to sort out some tax issue. But let's get to Liz Truss and her defence of Boris Johnson.
Do you know who paid for the refurbishment of the Prime Minister's flat?
The Prime Minister met...
So, of course, she doesn't answer the question, do you know? And then she starts talking about, well, the Prime Minister did everything correct.
The costs of the refurbishment of the flat. And that is very clear. He's acted completely in line with the rules.
When did he meet those costs, though? Because there are allegations that a donor paid a contractor directly and that the Boris Johnson paid him back, which would mean that in the interim, he effectively had a loan.
As I've said, the Prime Minister met the costs of the flat refurbishment. Everything's been done.
He met the costs after the fact. The problem here is not that he didn't meet the costs. The problem here is that somebody gave him money. Now, she's saying that everything is above board. Everything is above board, it seems, after the fact. So Boris Johnson has declared, yes, I paid for the refurbishments. But in reality, somebody gave him money. And Liz Truss is avoiding the question, of course.
Done in line with the rules. And I
but
think
he's met them now.
Us to be
Sorry, he met the costs now, but when did he meet the cost? That is key, isn't it? Because if somebody who shouldn't be...
Throughout this process, we and he have complied completely with the rules. And I think this is a huge distraction from what people actually care about, which is how we...
This is the distraction. She's going to move on to her own distraction.
Dealing with the pandemic. We've just had the news that 50% of people in Britain have now been vaccinated. And of course, as Trade Secretary, I'm working on how we build our economy after COVID, in particular by striking new trade deals that are going to drive jobs and growth across the United Kingdom.
Once again, she's attempting to distract by saying this is a distraction. This is corruption. It's become endemic within the Conservative Party, or you could say it's always been there. But Boris Johnson received money from a private individual or a business, it seems, in order to refurbish his flat. He's not telling the public who this person is, and he's not telling the public what he done in return for this money. Once again, this is degrading and eroding democracy. How can we allow this to happen? Politicians receiving money from private individuals, and then, of course, they're doing something in return. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?